The Organization for Security and Cooperation in Europe announced yesterday that it would dispatch a needs assessment team to the Armenian side of the border with Azerbaijan. One day after, Armenian Foreign Minister Ararat Mirzoyan said the idea of deploying an OSCE border mission to the region was under discussion. In 1994, the OSCE formed the Minsk Group, a diplomatic body tasked with mediating a peaceful resolution to the Karabakh conflict. The OSCE's move to send a needs assessment team to Armenia came 2 days after the European Union gave its final approval to an earlier decision to temporarily deploy a civilian monitoring mission to the region. An advanced team of EU monitors is already in Armenia to prepare for the mission. Armenian Prime Minister Pashinyan said today that the Armenian government may be interested in extending the EU's civilian mission beyond its initial 2-month mandate. Earlier, Azerbaijani President Ilham Aliyev dismissed proposals for the EU mission to deploy to the Azerbaijani side of the border, forcing the observers to work only from the Armenian side. Meanwhile, the Kremlin has proposed a mission of its own, with Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov telling Mirzoyan last week that the Collective Security Treaty Organization, a Russian-led military alliance, stands ready to dispatch border observers. Asked by reporters earlier this week about the prospect of a Russian-led border mission, Mirzoyan said that we are at the stage where there is no decision, but there are discussions. An Iranian Foreign Minister, Hossein Amir Abdollahian, arrived in Armenia today on an official visit. In Yerevan, he will meet with Mirzoyan and Pashinyan, among other senior Armenian officials. Tomorrow, Mirzoyan and Abdollahian will attend the opening ceremony for Iran's new consulate in the town of Kapan, the first such consulate in all of southern Armenia. And the Armenian government made a decision today to allocate a further $87 million to the country's defense budget for unforeseen expenses. The funds will be directed to the Ministry of Defense in order to improve building conditions. This comes after the Armenian government increased its defense budget next year to about $1.2 billion. It is the first time Armenia's military budget has ever topped $1 billion and would represent a year-on-year increase of over 47%. And Ruben Vardanyan has accepted an appointment to the post of Karabakh State Minister, akin to Prime Minister, putting an end to weeks of swirling speculation. Vardanyan said that he realized there is no longer time for lengthy considerations, and in this situation he has no choice but to stand by the people of Karabakh and take part in the responsibility for Karabakh's future. Karabakh President Karabakh offered Vardanyan the position earlier this month after pledging to make important personnel and institutional changes, but Vardanyan did not immediately accept the offer, saying he wanted to hold public meetings with Karabakh residents before making a decision. Vardanyan announced last month he was renouncing his Russian citizenship and moving permanently to Karabakh. He said at the time he was not in Karabakh for a government position. And finally, Martin Simon is the CEO and founder of Falconers, an Estonia-based space and Earth observation company. Mr. Simon sat down with ＳivilNet to discuss the launch of Armenia's first space satellite, as well as his impressions of Armenia's booming IT sector.